Hey crew, we are live. Um, I'm gonna be doing some game work, so I figured I might as well see if anybody wanted to pop in and hang up. I can't figure out how to do the sound, however, so it is gonna be a little bit on the boring side for the most part. We will be talking game, at least here in the beginning, so uh this is the land of Akhet, which is ruled by Enki. I'm going to be going through assets for the most part. I'm going to be going uh, sorting through and seeing what is going to build which cities. This is going to be Ankh, Ankh. It is going to be a city around this particular pyramid where they will. That is, that's what I wanted to have. So there will be a city around this pyramid. The Brotherhoods of the Serpent will be based here. The Greys are the native race in this particular section of Atlantis, and so they will have homes here. There will be three major cities, right? We have Ankh right here, and then we have the base. It's going to be right over here in the mountains. This is a lake. I don't have the water in here that eats a lot of resources that'll come in later. But we will be building in this particular area a overlook fortress overlooking the waters. This is a cliff over on the side here. There'll be a fortress up here on the top, and then there will be a supporting city down here next to a lake. I don't have a name for that one yet. And then there will be another city over here at the entrance from the actual region of Atlantis is directly to the east of this. This is the only access point between the two regions. There's mountains interfering. And so there will be a city right here at the junction, of course, uh, along with another fortress situation right here. And then this lake up here is fed by a spring, right? This is going to be a massive spring, a lot of water coming out of it, with a very decently sized lake. This is not finished, but it's going to feed a lake right here through a waterfall that comes over the edge. And then it goes down a river right here up to where it meets at the border of Atlantis. And then it also feeds through the water falling off this way, another river that runs this way, which I have to work in the landscape still. And then another river that comes out this way and is going to wrap around this mountain range and then fall into a lake here, which will have another spring. So you'll have a lake feeding into the spring, and that together will go to another river which will go up here to the border between Atlantis and what is next? Midas. Midas is up there. And so I just figured I would be here and answer any questions, talk about any things. We've got all kinds of things that are possible to talk about as long as it stays, friendly to the platform, then we can talk about it. So meanwhile, I will be here sorting through assets. And I am gonna pop that full screen. So if I scratch my nose, everybody doesn't see it. All right. So this particular asset is the bizarre meshing gun. I'm not sure if I got it free through Epic or if it is free all the time through Epic, but it is a free asset that I am in possession of. I have several $1,000s worth of assets that I have obtained free through Epic because they give out free assets every first Thursday of the month. It is free for the entirety of the month until the next Thursday, and all you have to do is go and claim them. If you have an Epic account, you can start amassing Epic assets right now. And so I'm going to be pulling out several of these, looking at them, deciding if I want to use them or not. If I want to use them, then I will be moving them into a separate folder that I'll have not even yet created. So let's get down towards the ground here. and start pulling in some meshes. So this is the first one. Oh, let it build. Hey, how's it going, man? Like, this is really boring work, but I just figured I could be here and people could talk if they wanted to. So, if you got anything to talk about, we can. That is going way too fast. Let me slow that down so I can get in there. That's too much. All right, so here's 4 arches, and I really do like those. Like this particular map, let me change the landscape color so you can see what it's going to be fairly close to. I'll do it this way. Hold on. Go here. Go down to here. This one, and we will add in onto. It'll load in just a second, but this is the desert for a large part, and this again is not finished graphics, but I am just world building today. Like, I'm making a map to put into the other parts so that it doesn't eat up as much resources at one time. And so this map, I'll make this map, and then I'll make the other. I think there's 14 total maps, but there's 10 on the island of Atlantis by itself. So I am going to have to play with that. I don't know about that. Looks a little blurry. That's high arch. Let's go ahead and pull this doorway into. That is origined in a really bad spot. Let's go ahead and do some origins. Because I probably am going to use this set. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over to modeling. And then if we are in modeling, we can go to transform over here on the corner. And we can edit the pivot. This is a so useful tool. Like, if you were in old school Unreal, this is great because you don't have to export your assets into a third program anymore in order to edit your pivots. You can just click, get it there, accept it, and now your pivot is in the spot where it needs to be for doing things like, moving it around, as opposed to this pivot being in the corner, so that when you rotate it, it rotates on that corner. Now it will pivot in the middle. So it's great. And you can just do that for each of them right there in the bottom center. And man, that really makes a difference when it comes to other things. But this is a lot of the repetitive type of work that you have to do if you are ever going to try to make a game. That is dumb. I did not do that correctly. Do that. Bam. All right. And see, you see where that pivot is? In the top. Like, why? Why? Because the 3D modeler was lazy, that's why. Okay, this one doesn't have sides, so this is for procedural generation. I'm probably not going to use that one anyway. So what is that? That is this one. All right, so these will go to another folder that I will make. You know what, let's do that over here first. Go into content. I will make a new folder, and this new folder will be assets underscore desert buildings. Always remember that if you are in programming, you do not want to use spaces for anything, because they will mess up something somewheres, and even in the spots that it doesn't mess it up, you don't want to be in the habit of using it in the wrong spot. That is not right. I am here. All right, we're going to take these 4 and move it into that folder like so. We're going to copy them here. All right, so we're not using this art. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all 5 of these. And pull out some more stuff. Let's pull out this one. This one. Well, that is a big one. That'll come in handy for the Anunnaki. They're bigger than the rest of everybody, so they have to have bigger stuff. Damn pivot points. I'm sure they had a reason for it. I'm sure they did. All right, these all have sides. Yeah, okay. So they're all going to go in. Pivot bottom, except pivot bottom, except. All right, so we will go ahead and move these 3 into here. We will copy 2 there and get rid of these 3 on the board. Next. All right, small door. Hopefully these all work because they normally come with animations and things. And if I don't have to do animations, that would be just lovely. Like I know how, but it's tedious to have to go through all of the steps repeatedly. All right, I'll hold off on those for a second. Let's go ahead and look and make sure everything's got a side. They do. I like the doors. Those are nice. Those are nice. All right, so let's get that done. Bottom, except edit pivot. And I am going to try to remember here in just a second to get a save on this so I do not lose some shit. Bottom, except. You used to have to turn on this modeling, but now I don't think you do because I did not in here. And this was a fresh load, so we need to do that. There's all kinds of things you can do in here, and we will do them as we progress. Like you can deform and stretch and create new things, add deformity. Like you can turn this into a mesh that you can edit and then add details and facings and change the layout of the UVs. And it's a really, really, really nice tool. They're working hard to replace having to use a 3D modeling program outside of Unreal at all. And they're making really good strides at it. All right, so we're going to take these 5 and move over here, and that will be a copy here. And then we will grab them and delete them. These should all be fine, but we're going to go ahead and check them anyway and edit pivots. Like I'll be using the modular snap system when I start actually putting the things together. I'll go ahead and do the modular snap system. So it's better to have the pivot at the bottom for that as well. And I really like all of these minarets and things. Like this is a nice little kit. It has a lot of stuff in it. And I know I got it free because I didn't pay for it, but I don't know if it's still free or not. Edit pivots. You gotta actually edit the pivot. It does no good just to save it. That's way over there. Edit the pivots in the bottom. I think that already was. Like it doesn't make sense not being the same place. Wow. That was not what I was trying to do at all. Get rid of that. All right, we're going over. No, what are you doing? Go down. See, I done messed all kind of stuff up now. Let's just go ahead and get rid of all of that right now. Why is it not letting me drag this here? There we go. All right. I know I did it wrong the first time, but the second time, that was weird. All right, we got one more of these. And we got some floors. Wonder where the pivot is on the floor. That's amazing. That wall, there, yeah, makes sense. Pivot to the top of the wall. Absolutely. Got you. It just goes to show that different people think about different things, right? Because when I do my modeling before I export, I make sure that all of my orientations are the same. I put them on the floor, I square it, I true it, I make sure everything's right, zone all of the dimensions, and then from there, I make sure that my pivots are right. And then you can export. All UVs got to be aligned and like all kinds of stuff. That looks like, yeah, we don't want that one. That's one of the procedural ones. What is that? That is this. Okay. All right, well, we'll get the rest of this correct. Edit the pivots. Bottom. Accept. A lot of rinse repeat. A lot of rinse repeat. It's door, is it? Yeah, it's got a side. All right. Edit the pivots. Bottom. Accept. And edit pivot. Gonna have a definite problem because I am adding a couple of different kits and not just one. So I'm gonna have different stylistic problems and things like that. But hopefully, eventually, other people are interested in joining the game, and if other people have different talents, maybe they can do something better with that than I can. Because I can do the basic stuff, right? Like I've got tutorials on here where I've done the basic stuff, but there's a lot to do. And while I could learn it, I've got all these kits. I might as well use it. All right, these all look good too. So let's get the pivots right. All right. Go ahead and get rid of those. And take these four and drop them in here. Copy them over. And then I can take all of these pieces and make individual kits so that, like, pre-mades to make making other things faster. Like, Unreal really has gone out of the way to make things quite friendly. There is a learning curve, but man, it is not nearly as bad as Unity was. Like, Unity kicked my butt. I tried it and I could not do. Plus, you know, the blueprint editing, that's a big thing for me. Because now I don't have to learn code. I can just snap shit in place where it goes and it works and it's beautiful. Beautiful. Pillar parts. Another pillar part. I want to try and get this whole row in. Look, and see, there's one that's not right. What is this? Yeah, I don't know about that. That one looks like it's going to be the same way, don't it? Let's see. These all have tops. No. None of the pillars. Okay, so the pieces don't have tops. That's interesting. Look at that shadow. That's funny. Anyway, what about the rest of these? The rest of these are all good, right? Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm going to leave them parts out for now. We will take these and move to here and copy them over. And now we can get rid of all of this. I probably will wind up adding those parts back, but yeah, see that one I don't even need to keep out. What about this? This is the cappers. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about any of these pieces yet. I will probably wind up taking those at some other point. All right, so this is railings. This is the pillar for the railing. All right. I love having to pull that out of the ground every time. I love that. Love it. Love it. I will have to resort these into other folders inside of my folder because the post will be separated from the other things. So, but for now, this is going to have to be organization and enough. I'll probably do that when I do the snap parts. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of these four. And gone. Next up, pull out these wood railings. Bam. I like that. I like that. I hope they should have posts to go with them. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I can definitely work with that. What else we got? Here's the railing. One of them, anyway. We'll pull those out in a second. All right, well, I don't like that there's not a external rail, but I can fix that later. Maybe it's down farther. Like there should be one post for the cap end here. But what do you expect for something free, right? They were selling it for something. It's not valued at free. I just got it for free. Like I love that thing. Like that is the wrong click. I love the fact that they give away free stuff. And they have the best terms of service out of all the rest of the free engines. That is not correct. You got to hit the bottom there a bit. All right. So what else we got? Gonna get rid of these three. All right. And let's pull out the stairs. That is some big stairs. I like it. That'll go with my big old pyramid right there. I'm not a big fan of the broken bricks, but they do have their purposes. I'm gonna leave those in the ground. I'll fix that. Like if the thing was in the right spot, then it wouldn't be a problem. All right, let's go ahead and get the pivot correct because I will be using that for sure. These all look good, right? Yep. So let's get the pivot in the correct location. One, two, that one. That one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over there. All right. Next. Man, that is a good feature. Like you don't even know if you don't do this, but like that would have taken 20 minutes on a fast computer to take it out, put it into the other program, edit those pivots, and put them back. Like that would have taken that long. This makes it so much easier. So much easier. All right. Did I move those yet? I did not move those yet. Move them over here. Copy. Hey, what we got here? Uno, dos, tres. It's a big boy. You know what? I'll just go ahead and pull them out. Good. That's a good touch, too. You don't see trim work in a lot of the packs. So I will try to remember to go back into the description and link what it is in the Unreal store. But I'm going to be honest with you, I will probably forget to do that unless y'all remind me. So if you want to know and it's not in the notes, do not feel shy about asking me to do that. I'm going to go ahead and add those, even though they're blank on the backside, because I know how that works. All right, so that whole row can move. Copy over. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of these. I guess I don't need to have me hidden anymore. I'll go ahead and do this. Just in case anybody does want to see my doggos back there. Oh, over here. All right, so let's go ahead and pull these on out. Trim wall. That's interesting. It doesn't appear to be transparent, but we'll see when we get there. Did that just make two of them? I think that just made two of them. Yep. Yep. So that one can go away, and we will pull this one back here. All right, we're going to pull. Well, that's got world align coordinates. That must be for this one too. Those must be for procedural generation. Like I can do that, but I'm not. Well, no, that's okay. Well, that one's got world aligned coordinates and the other one doesn't. And you can tell the difference because when I slide this one around, you see how the texture moves on that? And this one, it stays stuck to the whatever the actual block is. That's because the small one here has the texture on itself. And so it's aligned to itself. Whereas this one is aligned to the coordinates in the greater world. So what shows up on here is dependent upon where it is in the world. It'll change wherever you put it. That comes in handy if you're dealing with materials. And again, Unreal makes that really, really simple. All right, so let's go ahead and do my pivots. Like this is the part of the work I absolutely dread doing is all the organization and the editing the pivots in repetitive motion. Really annoys me. I like the creative part. I like to build and put things together. I like the world building part. I like creating the whole brand new world, but I really hate the tedium. Like animation, I can do it, but man, that is some tedious work, and I don't want to. But somewhere, somebody likes doing that, and they will come along and be like, hey, I want to do that for this game. And I'll be like, all right, cool. Well, let's work out the details. Because that's how that's going to work. Some more world aligned textures. Those little capstones right there come in very handy too. All right, let's look at these. See what we got. Hmm. I'm going to put them in there, but I probably am not going to use those. I actually want the windows in my windows to be breakable. And so I probably won't use that because it's not a separate static mesh, and I can just build one in here that'll break. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in there, though, just in case I change my mind. All right, let's edit pivots. I really wish I could have got music figured out, but I don't see how to do it, and I did not look up a video to find out how, but uh, it's definitely not intuitive inside of StreamYard. But I don't know that StreamYard is really set up for like this type of thing where you would want to have some music in the background. But it does give me a chance to use my voice some more, and that's a good thing. All right, so those are done. We will put them in here and copy. And then get rid of these out here and start on the next round. And these are the same pieces with different UVs on them. This has extra texture to it, but these are the same pieces with different UVs. But that's fine. Like, keeps me from having to change the UV on something. I probably will end up with different textures at some point. Like I really am hoping somebody else comes in and wants to do the stylistic stuff that I don't. Like I'm great at the world building. I can do that. The stories, that'll be a collaborative process, right? More than just me because I'm good at the broad, but I'm not good at the narrow details. And somebody's gonna come along that's gonna be like, I can do better materials than that. And I have better meshes than that. And once they're in here, it's really easy to swap them out for something else. So that's another thing that's really good about Unreal. Like, I am a little bit of an Unreal fanboy. I tried Godot and I tried Unity. Uh, and there was another one I tried and I didn't like any of those. It just didn't have the same flow. All right, these all look good. Well, let's get the pivot right. And I am going to try to do more of these live streams, even if nobody is showing up. Like, I don't even know if somebody's still here. No, it's just me, but that's cool. Uh, Eventually, people will see it. But I'm not going to try and set a schedule. I may do some in the evenings. I may do some during the day. It's just whenever I have the time to sit down and do this for a while. A lot of my problem is that I can't sit very long and then I have other things I do during the day. I cook, I clean, I take care of my household. So it's hard for me to commit to a stream of time like this. But I do know that some of y'all actually do want to chit chat, so this is going to be the spot for that. Do-do-do-do. Alrighty, what else we got? I like double windows. That's nice. Dormer windows. I'm digging it, I'm digging it, I'm digging it. This is a nice kit. This really is a nice little kit. And like this isn't even putting together all of the other stuff. It has, wow, that pivot is, oh, no, it just dropped it. I'm like, wow, that pivot is way off. But no, no, just me being not dumb, not intelligent. We'll put it that way. What the just happened there? That's wild. Where did you go? I don't know what's going on with this piece. Huh. That was weird. It just disappeared all by itself. Oh, look, it's got an interior. That's awesome. Excellent, excellent. This really is a nice kit, man. I'll tell you what. And I'm going to be able to use it in a lot of spots. So, like, I've got two other kits that I'm going to be using in here, and this is good. We can use this in Paradise too. Bingo, bango, bongo, boys. I do want to get a closer look at this one here in just a second. So that is a complicated piece of meshery right there. It's quite impressive. Like that individual lattice work may not seem like a big deal, but modeling that shit and getting it right and getting it UV unwrapped in the right way, that's a nice little piece of work right there. They did a good job on that. That's all right, but I really don't like the disheveled look. Like, I'm really going for refined primitive. I know that sounds weird, but this is for Atlantis, so it can be a little fantastical. And I do kind of want refined uh primitive. So like it's all stone, it's all wood, no, well, not all really, but we're not going to get into that right now. Oh, there are some other pieces. And I mean, they do have metals, right? Like there's stone, like metal uh, armor and metal weapons. It's not like they're completely no metal, but not a whole lot of metal buildings. That is a luxury. Even the minarets and things like that, that's a luxury to have. You can't just, you know, be a primitive agrarian culture and just randomly spout out like a couple tons worth of sheet gold. It just doesn't work that way. You got to have artisans for that. Those seem, oh, that's window panes. Oh, well, that's nice. I can use that for the other things. There's a lot of little pieces now. That's cool. This kid has a whole lot of clutter, is what I call it, like vases and urns and plates and stuff like that too. It really is a nice little kit. What is this? All right, let's go down here and look at this. This is smaller. All right, so that's window panes. They're gonna go. These are individual planks. Yeah, planks and logs and stuff. That's the building pieces for the other stuff, so it's definitely gonna go. Okay, yeah, let's get the pivots right. Alrighty. Chitty chitty bang bang, baby. I'm a weirdo if you didn't know. I say all kinds of weird things all the time. There's a shadow. I was about to try and click on that shadow. All right, those are ready to go. So let's take that and slide it in there like so. And then we will get rid of all of these. I'm going to do that individually so I don't get rid of my landscape by accident. Oh, that's a shadow, see? I would accidentally grab that and just delete my whole landscape. And it ain't hard to get it back, but it's still a pain in the butt. All right, last three. For this particular section anyway. 2 and 3. All right, let's see what we got here. You a little bitty post. All right, that works. Well, let's get it in there. Da-da-da-da. No, it's not a little bitty post. It was just in the wrong spot. Like, why would you want it to snap in the middle? It just doesn't make sense to me. And I forgot to save all earlier. Y'all forgot to remind me. He says like somebody's there. Told you I'm a goober. All right, let's go back into selection mode for a bit. And I'm going to go into here. All right, so actually, let's do this. We're going to see what else they have in here. So, mesh, blueprint. Well, what have we here? That is an alleyway. Wait. What the hell? Like, that's... I don't understand this at all. I don't understand that at all. What is going on here? Like, why is it separated? This should be attached. And then what is this? Like, there's no entryway here. And this entryway doesn't look like it's meant to be an entryway. So yeah, I don't know about that particular asset. What about you? Same thing. What about you? Same thing. What am I missing here? Like, something's obviously wrong with me. Like the floor is not even in the right spot. Like how did what? Yeah, these are worthless. I mean, they probably have value in them and for whoever they were created for, but they have no value for me. Those are all the same. I'm not trying to get into like these the clutter right now. This is tall tower and wall tower. Let's see what they've got. Yep, see, nope. I'll make my own kit for that. That's useless for me. And that's mine. All right, what else we got? That is the bazaar. Fantasy interior, I think. Matches. Yeah. This is going to be part of the kit bash, but we ain't doing that right now. What else we got? Not level prototyping. Modular medieval town. Let's look at them meshes. Buildings. I'm going to hold off on this. I will probably use this in one of the mountain towns, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. Nature props. More kit bash props. All right. There was one more here. Oh, there's two more. Two more. All right. Let's go to models. Everybody names their shit different. Foliage. Rocks. Oh, those will come in handy in my desert. Yep. We will come back to them yet. Yep. I can make use of that. And structures. Some of this, again, I'm not a real fan of the broken look, but it might work for maybe for some of the gray dwellings. Let me see. Get it out here. Let's look at it. Let it fix the shaders. Yeah, I don't know about this. What about this wall? I could probably use that wall and outside ornamentation. Like, I wouldn't use that as a structure. Like, yeah, see, that wood's broken too. This is more like destroyed ruins. And that's not really what I'm looking for here. I can probably wind up using these, though. Not really. I think the other ones were better. I can probably change the color on that one set and make them work. Yeah, I don't like any of these. Like those rocks will come in handy. All right, let's see what else we got. What else we got? There was one more, right? Modular Sci-Fi Valley. We are in materials or meshes, architecture, cables, chairs, and we are not going to use those. This says going to serve a purpose. I'll probably take them rocks. And this, let's see what that looks like. These are meant to hang from cliffs, and is the main reason why I added this kit to the project was because they are like sandstone cliff dwellings. And those mountains don't look like it, but they are not quite done either. And so I want to see, let's go ahead and put this. Why does this not go down when I tell it to go down, but it comes up when I tell it to come up? I'm going to have to find that setting. That's a pain in the ass. All right, but it has an interior. No, it doesn't. What? Well, that is not at all what I was advertised. They're just supposed to sit there and look pretty. I don't like that. What about this one? Is this one any better? Where'd it go? Alright, pull it on now. Alright. Nope, this is not any better. Like, you can go in this one section, but there's nothing here. And I mean, I could rotate her on around like so and use that for like a grain silo or something, like some kind of a structure. So, I mean, I can use that, and I guess it's not going to be used in the original function, but these things rarely are. I can probably find a use for that. I'm not going to worry about it right now, though, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of those. And yeah, this is probably going to be a good bit of nothing here, too. We'll take them rocks, but that's going to be later. I have a good skybox, and it's just not on here. Some of these props will probably be used. Yeah, I think we got pretty much everything we're going to get for now here. So let's start putting some kits together. That's going to involve modular snap system. That is a plugin that you may or may not have installed. I'm going to pull out a couple of these. If you're unaware of how to do that, if you go to Edit and Plugins here, you can find the modular snap system here. If you have added it to your engine inside of the Unreal Engine launcher for Epic. Uh, I'm not going to show you how to do that. I have another video where we actually did that. But if you enable that, it's going to tell me I have to restart, and I'm not going to do that right now. So, what else can we do? I guess I'm going to have to do that right now, but let's just pop over to me. It won't take that long. Let's get a save. I'll go ahead and restart it. I will actually go get me some water and walk for a second and stretch my back. So I'm going to throw this banner up real quick, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so let me get it loaded back up real quick and we can get back in it. All right, so modular snap system is now enabled, so we can use it. If we go into and double click here, I'm going to pull that up so it is a whole window and y'all get to see everything. We got a new window over here on the side. It is called Socket Manager, and we can add sockets here. We're going to call this socket wall because that is what it is going to snap into. And since we moved the pivot to the middle right here, we have a positive and negative instead of having just a negative, which would have been a pain in the butt. I'm going to pull this out so I can get an approximate number. It looks like 200 is going to be good. What you want to happen is this little white ball to extrude about halfway outside of your mesh. That is a good spot right there, so it's going to be 200. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go here, and if we hit Control D, we duplicate it, we make another one. And then we can take this and put it at 0 on the, I believe this is the X. And we move it, actually negative 200 on that. Negative 200. The other side now has a matching one. But the problem what we're going to have is that it will not snap. That's because the red arrow is pointed in. You need the red arrow to be pointed out in the direction that you want it to snap to. And in order to do that, we are going to rotate it on the Z by 180 degrees. And now it'll snap side to side. And in order to show that, I'm going to go ahead and do this next one, because we pulled it out already. And this one is also going to be named wall. You want it to be named exactly the same, because if it is not exactly the same, it will not stick. That is something that you absolutely need to remember. Negative 200. And rotate on 180 degrees on the Z. All right, so if we pop back over here, now we can take these pieces, and if we just put them close together, they snap into spot. That is an incredibly handy tool. It moves, like you can move it one time freely, and then the next time it'll snap. So if it's not quite right when it's snapped, you get one, move it away. If you move it away twice, it will snap back within whatever range you set up here. The snap plugin options, I have 100, whatever unit this happens to be. I forget what it is, but it's not far, right? You can go higher and lower, I believe. It's fairly adjustable, but if you go too far, you'll start snapping things that you did not intend to. This one we did not do yet, and if you notice, it does not snap. But if we go in here and we go ahead and open it up and we add in a wall, and we put it at 200, and then we duplicate it over, and we put that at negative 200 because it is on the other side of the scale, and we rotate it by 180 degrees, save it, and move over here. It will now snap. That's how the modular snap system works. It is an awful lot of repetitive, put it in the right spot. You can make adjustments where it snaps into the wall, up and down the wall, however you want. I will be adding another one because this is a door. And so we're going to add door, which is a whole new socket. It's going to be right in the middle here, however, because I'm going to have my doors where they pivot right there. Or the 3D model is placed right there, even if the animation doesn't pivot right there, so that it can snap to this particular snapping spot. But it needs to rotate, so this one is going to rotate, I believe, 90 in the positive on the y-axis. Now, the y-axis is the green one, the x-axis is the red one, and the blue axis is the Z in its natural state. So we rotated it up by 90, and So now if I place a door inside of there that has the door, it will snap into place where it is. You can set this up either on either side or with multiple door snap points. I may at some point come back and add more door snap points, but this one in the middle will always be there. Uh, and what I'm also going to do is create a floor snap point because that's how I want my wall to attach to the floor as opposed to other walls. And this one is going to need to rotate by a -90 because it is going to be snapping down to the up pointing arrow from the floor. Um, and I'm going to do the same thing for these other two. So we will create a door and it will be up 90. And then we will create a floor and it'll be down 90 on the correct axis there, Pit. Let's go back and check that because I did that in the wrong spot. Did I do that on the other one? No. Okay. Had to make sure. I am frequently doing things like that. So door up 90 and floor is going to go, I'm about to do it again, down 90. All right. It's going to save on all three of those. And I am actually going to, I'm going to add another floor at the top here. It's going to be actually, and in order to do that, I'm going to do this. Delete that, and I am just going to duplicate this. And then we will take that up. Like 400. I'm gonna zero this out so that there's no drift. And then I will rotate this to a +90. And now if I attach a floor to the top, which the ceilings will also be labeled floor, it'll snap on the top right here and I won't have to come back and make another one for it. So let's go ahead and do that across all of them. I can turn that ticker off now. We're going to do that across all of them. So I will grab the floor and I will duplicate it up to 400 right here. And then rotate that to a 90 positive. Save that and go to the next one. Duplicate that up to 400. And then +90. All right. What else we got going on here? All right, let's get a save on those. I don't like opening too many in too many tabs. And just to make sure that the floor snap works correctly, bam, yep. Excelente. And these are going to stay out because they will be play toys for making sure that the other things work at another point in time. So let's bring it down to where it snaps to the ground and then we'll pull it out and over this way. All right. Go ahead and pull these out. That's going to be a whole separate issue. Well, that, I didn't realize that. All right, so these are two different sizes. Are they? Or is it just ornamented different? Let's find out. Let's find out. Pull it over here. And then we'll pull it over here. And yeah, that one's bigger. Which is fine. It just doesn't quite fit the aesthetic. So that's okay. That's okay. All right. These three are done. Let's do these. So that's going to be that one, and that is here. And then we are going to dock that. And then open the. That's the big one. I don't want that one right now. That's the other one. Give me this one. And this one. All right. Same process, repeat it again. So I know it's a little bit on the boring side there, but such is life. All right, socket manager, floor. Wait, yeah, no, walls are first. Capital, wall. We are at, it was 200 here. And then we can duplicate that and take that to a negative 200 and a 9, this is 180, 180 degree turn. All right. Next up, door. That is going to rotate on the yoke by 90. And then we add 2 floors. Floor. And that was 400. And negative 90 here. Oh no, that one's going to be there. And then we'll duplicate that down to 0 and negative 90. I think my voice is about to give out on me, so I am about to have to wrap this one up. But an hour live stream is not terrible, especially considering, like, I was just wasting time and seeing if anybody did pop in. I may wind up being back later with some of this done and more to do, because I do want to actually start putting things together to a certain degree around here. I don't know that we're going to start right here by the pyramid. We'll probably wind up starting at the Overlook Fortress over this way, or the city over by Atlantis. For those who do wind up popping in and watching the live stream later, because that is absolutely a thing. That is how I particularly watch live streams. So hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment, not too much confusion. If you have comments or questions, leave them down below. If they stay respectful, they get to stay up. If you are interested in more videos like this, let me know. If you like what I'm doing, let me know. Give me a like, share, and a sub. Throw me a comment. And if you really like it, hit me with that super thanks, because I am not a communist and I hope to someday be able to pay people to do the parts that I don't want to do. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. And this has been Pit's Take. Peace.